everyone. I am here with Payal Thomas. She is the creator of Every Girl Dolls. Welcome, Payal.
Thank you.
Okay, so why don't you just start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Payal Thomas. I'm the mother of two. I have an 8-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter, and we live here in Burke, Virginia. We've been here for about 8 years. So during the day, I work in IT. I'm an IT program manager, and I also have the side business that I started, Every Girl Dolls.
Awesome. So I see you have one of the dolls here. So can you tell us how you started Every Girl Dolls?
Sure. So in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, I wanted to find a doll for my daughter, Kyla. So I started looking online to see if I could find something. And what I found interesting was that, there's been a lot of change and diversity in toys today, but not in dolls. I was able to easily find a lot of, Caucasian dolls and African American dolls, but not a lot of dolls that were brown. And I looked into I checked everywhere. I checked Amazon, I checked Etsy, wherever the Google search took me, I checked. But I really wanted something that she could connect to and also create some curiosity about her culture. So I couldn't find what I was looking for. Of course, you can create a custom doll. There's a couple websites that allow you to do that.
Okay.
But it does get a little pricey. And at the end of the day, they still didn't have the factor of connecting culture.
Okay.
So I kind of was like, oh, maybe I could make one. And it was kind of like half joking. I was like, maybe I can make one. But then I started doing research and I started looking into how to create a product. And so one of the first things I did was I created a Google form. Using Google Forms, I created a survey to figure out like what types of things other people would be interested in for a doll. Because when I talk to just friends, they'd be like, oh, it should be like a plush doll, or it should be a plastic doll, or it should be this or that.
You forget about all the options.
So people had, different thoughts on what it should be. So I wanted to get a clear picture of what customers might be interested in. Mm-hmm. So I created a survey that I posted on on Facebook. So there's a Facebook group called Little Brown Diary, and it's specifically for South Asian women.
Okay.
And they have a subgroup called, it's the same group, it's for entrepreneurs. So I had posted the survey in there. I was just like, hey guys, I have an idea. Would you mind, filling out this survey? And I got a bunch of responses and I got some great feedback. People were really excited about it. And one of the responses was from my now partner, Snehali.
Okay.
So she had responded and she asked if we could chat. And so we did a Zoom call because, again, we're in the middle of a pandemic in 2020. So we did a Zoom call and we just got to know each other a little bit. She had a similar idea and, we decided it'd be better to work together than work against each other.
Yeah.
And especially because we were both new to this. We both work. I work in IT. She's in the engineering field, but we're completely new to creating a product, and we wanted to try to figure out and tackle, what the next steps would be together. So that's how we started.
Awesome.
In 2020. Yeah.
So what is the meaning behind Every Girl Dolls, like the name, and then what's her name?
Okay, so for Every Girl Dolls, the reason we named it that was because originally the plan and what the plan has always been is to create more than just one doll. So me and my partner were both South Asian, so we wanted to first focus on a South Asian doll. Mm-hmm. But in the future, I'd like to be able to create more dolls that represent, other cultures that aren't as widely available.
Awesome. Okay. And then what's the name behind Layla?
So her name is Layla. And the way we figured out the name was that we took my daughter Kyla, her name, and then my business partner, her daughter's name is Leia.
Okay.
And we combined them to make Layla.
That's so cool.
But it's very fitting because Layla, it comes from an Arabic word.
Okay.
And it means night. And so once we looked up the name, we were like, this is really fitting because we have been working on this company at night. It's been like late nights that we've been working on it because we have full-time jobs and we have kids. So we thought that the name was really fitting. It means night, beloved, and I think dark beauty. So all those,
cool. Yeah,
all those words I think are very fitting for what we wanted to create.
Yeah. So how long did the process take? Like through development and all that creation and.
So again, we didn't have like a roadmap of how to move forward with this, but we knew that we needed to first come up with like a design. So we found an illustrator on Instagram. So through social media, we just, were we were finding illustrators and saving them and contacting them and saying, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Is this something you would be able to do?
Yeah.
Can you draw us a doll? And so not knowing like what the process should be, we had an illustrator. She created a 2D version of Layla. And then we started interviewing manufacturers, and they were like, it would be nice to have a 3D drawing of this doll. And we were like, oh, we don't know how to do that. So we started like trying to do all this research of how to take this 2D design and create a 3D design off of it. So that required more research, but we finally got to a point where we had a manufacturer who was willing to work with the design that we had. And so in the design, we had the clothes already laid out. We had a custom face that we wanted created. And the manufacturer that we chose already creates 18-inch dolls. So the next step for them was to create the mold for the face. So they have like a plastic mold that they create. And then we had to choose the colors, right? So the clothes and stuff, since they already had a design, weren't too bad. We just had to provide them the colors that we wanted. Okay. The butterflies are part of our logo. So we provided the design for that. Then the hardest part was the skin color. So we there's different types of color codes that are available, and every time we thought that we had the right color code, because it's something that looks good on paper, it doesn't always translate to the doll. So they would send us pictures, and we'd say, okay, no, it's not right. Our manufacturer is in Taiwan, and it's really interesting because we had to do everything virtually. Yeah.
You can't make a trip to Taiwan in the middle of COVID.
Exactly. We were going to go to Taiwan in the middle of COVID, which, I mean, eventually that would be nice just to meet with the manufacturer and create like a better relationship. But we would get pictures, and there was definitely a communication barrier. So sometimes it was hard to understand the progress. But I mean, at the end of the day, we started, I would say, in January. We got a prototype in November, and we were really, really happy with it. There were some small things that needed to be fixed, which the manufacturer did. And then we received our first order in February of this year.
Okay, so about a year.
About a year. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been a really cool journey. Like, I've never, again, I don't have any experience in doing any of this, but I've been able to use I guess skills that I don't normally use. I've gotten to be a lot more creative. I use a lot of illustrative tools now to create different things for social media or for our branding. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then what's been the feedback from customers and friends and family? And
so we've gotten really good feedback. People are really interested and excited because, at the end of the day, it's really nice to have toys that are representative for our kids. Yeah. And for them to be able to see not only themselves, but to get to see different cultures. The reason I wanted to create a physical product was because I thought, and a doll specifically, was because most kids have dolls or they're familiar with dolls, right? It's not something that's completely a different type of toy. But now my daughter can take this to her friend's house that maybe isn't South Asian and can be like, hey, look at my doll. Yeah. Let's talk about how she's different, and what she's wearing. So I thought that it's not only a good learning tool for, kids, they can use it to teach other people or to start conversations with adults even,
Yeah, that's awesome. And then right now, is it only Layla? Or are there other accessories or?
So there is just Layla. She does have a bangle set that she comes with. So she has a bangle, and then you can get a child-sized bangle too, so they can match. Okay. We are working on another doll. We'd like to have a boy doll. Because there are other companies that are, trying to create more representation, which is amazing. But there are other, girl dolls that are available that have a little bit more South Asian representation, but there's no boy dolls available.
Okay.
So we want to try to get that out, and then maybe creating more variations of her. Okay. So, not everyone in the South Asian community has the same skin tone. There's a huge range. So we'd like to have the same doll maybe in a few different skin tones and maybe curly hair also.
Oh, that's cool.
So we've gotten a few requests for that. But all the feedback has been great. People are really excited. My favorite feedback is when we get, sometimes we get videos and pictures of young girls opening up the box for the doll.
Yeah.
And like pulling it out, and like there have been a few that the girls have the same feedback where they like, oh my gosh, it looks like me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
so
the best.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing you were able to pull that together in
I know.
a year, like during the middle of COVID, you know?
It is kind of surreal to be like, oh, we had this idea and we created it.
And here she
Yeah.
is. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if people want to order a doll, like, what's the best
Yeah,
way?
so the best way is to go to our website. It's www.everygirls.com. Oh, everygirldolls.com.
Okay.
And we're on social media at Everygirl Dolls. We're on Facebook at Everygirl Dolls, so you can find us there. We're posting almost daily updates and just what we're working on, and some like helpful things about culture in South Asia.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for meeting with me.
Of course, thank
this
you.
Is great. I'm so excited and I can't wait. Do you guys have like a name picked out for the boy doll or anything?
No, not yet.
Yeah. So we'll have to stay tuned
Stay tuned.
to see. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.